What's up, everyone? It's me, Amir, back again with another video, and today we will be talking about, well, this document or sheet or whatever you want to call it that's on the screen right now. So, maybe wondering, Amir, what is this? And is it train related? And yes, it is. Of course, it's train related. So basically, this is the future car assignments. So today we'll be going over my opinions. No, actually, today we'll be going over the future car assignments, my opinions, and what does this mean for the present or right now. So I'm sorry that you could hear like an AC and thunder. It's currently a big thunderstorm right here. It's like 5 in the morning, as you can see. But yeah, let's get straight into this video. So this is to show this is to show what will happen in the future. So let's start with Pitkin and 207th Street. It says, as the R211 base order is delivered to Pitkin, their more reliable R46s in use on the A, C, and Rockaway Park shuttle will move to Coney Island for use on the N, Q, and W, replacing the less reliable R46s used on those lines. The replaced cars will be officially retired. So what does this mean? So that means that the A, C, and Rockaway Park shuttle are losing their R46s. And in my opinion, I mean, hey, I already knew. At first I thought they wanted it to be fully R211s, but as we go on to the video, you'll see why you'll see that I was wrong. B. The C currently uses 4-car R179s from 207th Street and R46s from Pitkin. Will be switched to Pitkin only and begin using 5-car R179s ready there alongside the R211 option order. The C will then be permanently 10-car operation for the first time in way too long. So what does this mean? This means that the C, which uses the 179s from 207th Street Yard and the R46s from Pitkin, those will be switched out, and C will start to use 5-car R179s and 211s. So the C will be fully NTT, same with the A, and yeah. So that's Pitkin and 207th Street Yard, East New York and Jamaica Yard. With 207th Street, 4 cars R179s no longer in use by the C, they will move on to East New York to replace some of the 4-car R160s currently used on the J, Z, L, and M. Oh, sorry, I thought I was reading it as because I thought it continued. So that's point A. So what does this mean? So the 4 cars R179s will be transferred to East New York Yard and phase out the 4-car R160s that currently run on the M. I think the J is 5-car R160s, so the J, Z, and L will still use their current fleet. Same with the M, but what does this mean? The M uses 4-car R160 sets. This means that, well, if you already put the pieces together, the M will be getting R179s, and they will run on the M. So yeah, that so let's move on to point B. Said R160s will then be moved to Jamaica for the G, which currently uses 5-car R160s as their own trains rather than coupled together, but will now run 8-car trains for the first time in way too long. So if you didn't know, the G, someone told me this. I'm not sure if it's true. Someone told me that the G used to be 8 cars, but because of budget cuts, they moved it down to 4-car. 4-car SMEs and now 5-car R160s. Now they're going back up to 8 cars, and then as we said before, for the C will be moving up to 10 cars. And now C, the R211. Now let's move on to point C. I'm sorry. The R211 order, the R211 order will also go to Jamaica, replacing the 5-car R160s currently in use on the E, F, and R. So that means Jamaica is actually getting R211s, and the R211s are going to be used on the E, F, and R. So that means the R160s that's on use on those lines will probably go to other lines that will either be getting CBTC soon, or those lines need them because of their retiring fleet. Coney Island and Concourse. With Jamaica's 5 cars, let's move on to Coney Island Concourse. I'm sorry I keep on reading it and then stopping and then changing. I don't know. I'm gonna just continue. Coney Island and Concourse. Point A. With Jamaica 5-car R160s freed up by the arrival of the R211s and 4-car R160s, they will be split between Coney Island and Concourse. Okay, so what does this mean? Point A states that the Jamaica R160s that's on use on the E, F, and R will be split upon 2 yards, which is Coney Island Yard and Jamaica Yard, which means that we could see probably an R160B or D, R160Q again in normal use, or R160 NRW, or even the shuttle. Yeah. So that's what point A is trying to say. So let's move on to point B. At Coney Island, they will be used on the B and Q as required by the introduction of CBTC on 6th Avenue. This will begin the true retirement of the R46s through both direct replacement and making more R68/A's available for the NNW. So what does this mean? So what is point B talking about? Point B is saying that the R160s that's going to Coney Island Yard will be used on the B and Q. And this is because of the introduction of CBTC on 6th Avenue. Now you may be wondering, why does the Q need R160s if the line that it runs on doesn't need CBTC? And honestly, I don't know. I don't know. Probably, I hear a lot of people say that the B and Q uses some of the same R68 sets. So that's probably why. And so probably the Q will be a mix of SMEs and NTTs. I don't know, but we'll get to this point later. Let's move on to point C. At Concourse, they will completely replace the R68s currently there for use on the D, which will then move to Coney Island and replace all the remaining R46s. So I actually predicted this. I predicted this with a couple of my friends, but I didn't. But thing is, I never said it on video. But what I predicted was that once Concourse gets its R160s, the 68s will move down to Coney Island, and run on the N, Q, and W. But as we see now, the Q isn't using any SMEs, and it's going to be using NTTs. So that means once the R68s from Coney Island go to the N and W, most of the 46s should be retired by then. But yeah. Let's move on to Clifton Yard. And if you don't know where this is Staten Island. We are moving on to the SIR. Point A, and the only point, the R211S order will replace the remaining R44s in use on the Staten Island rail. So, if you don't know, this is obviously saying that all the R46s, which are about like 50-something years old, will be replaced by the R211S. They still haven't transferred the R211S to Clifton Yard or Staten Island in general. So probably you're making some adjustments and whatnot. But yeah. So here are the final assignments. So picking the A and C 10 will be using 10-car R179s and R211s. The Rockaway Park shuttles will be using 5-car R179s, and then when it gets extended to Rockaway Boulevard during the summer, it will use 10-car R179s and R211s. East New York Yard. The JZ will use the same fleet that it uses now. The 8-car R160s and the R179s, occasionally the R143s. The L will be using the R143s, of course, and the occasional and some of the R160s. M will be using 8-car R160s and R179s, and that's it for the East New York Yard. Jamaica Yard will be using the E, F, and R will be using 10-car R211s, while the G uses 8-car R160s. Coney Island Yard. The B and Q will be using 10-car R160s. The N, W, and W will be using 8-car R68 and R68As. And the Franklin Avenue Shuttle will be using 2-car R68s. Concourse will be using 10-car R160s, and Clifton will be using 5-car R211S. So let's move on to my opinion. So my opinion is that I think that the only thing that I really have a thing about is Jamaica. I don't really think that Jamaica needs the R160s. I don't think that they need the R211s, as they already have the R160s that has CBTC. But I guess since I don't work for the MTA, I can't really do anything about it. But still, I think that if they spent all this money on this, on the R160s to get CBTC installed, just to replace them, and put them on lines that doesn't have CBTC yet, it's kind of not really the right move. But if I were them, I would probably put the R211s on the B and Q, but I'm not sure, because if the R211s already have CBTC installed, then I'm basically saying the same thing. Well, no, not really. I'm basically saying probably put them on the lines that has the 46s. So the NQ, W, and the A and C. The Franklin Avenue Shuttle using 2-car R68. I hear a lot of people saying that it will not get NTTs for a while. And when they tested the R160 on it, the results were that they'll need modified 3-car NTTs. Which I'm just going to say, just please extend the station platforms. Even though they could probably fit 3-car NTTs, just try to extend the station platforms. It's not that hard. You could do it at Botanic Garden, which is easy. You could do Prospect Park is off the list because it already has an extension. What else? Park Place, you'll probably have to shut down the line or have shuttle trains run between Botanic Garden and Prospect Park. And Franklin Avenue, it's I'll probably do another video diving deep into this, but Franklin Avenue, you could also extend it or move the train more into the station, because that could probably fit 3 cars right there, and then the 4th car you could go and extend the station. That's kind of it for my opinions. I'll probably do, like I said, another video about the Franklin Avenue shuttle and the future of it. But let's move on to what does this mean in the present. So if you're a fanner, or if you like the way the subway looks now, I would say this is mostly for the fanners. I would say go and catch everything how it is now. Because if you see this and you see all the changes, then you're gonna start saying, "Oh, you're gonna wait. It's gonna probably take too long for you to." I'm sorry. I'm just really tired. You're probably gonna wait a while until they actually start doing this, and then it's gonna be too late. So, if I were you, I would say the most important thing to catch is the G, C, and the Coney Island 46s. Being that the G and C will never go back to using that unless something happens to where they have to. And also the Pitkin R46s. It's most likely you should catch that first, because the R211s are entering service on the A. So, yeah, as you can see, it is if you see, the orders are coming in like hotcakes, and they are coming in fast. They're testing them fast, and then all of a sudden they're in service. So that means one less R46 on the A. And yeah. Coney Island, I would also consider catching the R68s from Coney Island and R68As, and the R68s from Concourse, being that soon Concourse will no longer have any SMEs, and will only have NTTs. And the E, F, and R, I would also consider catching, because they will no longer use R160s. But yeah, I guess that's it. And also, if they Jamaica, and depending on if they'll still do it by time everything changes, that means if they do the R296 Street and it turns into a queue, that means we'll have an R211 on the queue. But yeah, this is basically my review of what's gonna happen in the future. And yeah, that's kind of it. This video wasn't scripted. I just decided to make this video. But yeah, put your opinions and everything in the comments, if you have one, and put what you're most excited to see in the comments. So this has been Amir, signing out. Peace.